F1 is the hottest sport in the United States. Since being purchased by Liberty Media in 2017, F1's popularity has skyrocketed from breaking records every race weekend in TV ratings, including the 2021 season being the most watched season in F1 history in America, having now 3 races in the US for 2023 in Austin, Miami, and Las Vegas, to the 400,000 people attending the US Grand Prix over the weekend in Austin last year, and the inaugural Miami Grand Prix bringing in more than 2.6 million viewers, making it the most watched race in US television ever. The explosive growth of the sport also means that more companies want to cash in on the popularity, especially when it comes to broadcasting rights. In 2018, F1 made the move to ESPN and ABC, and with their deal ending at the end of this season, there's a lot of talk about who could be the new partner for F1 races in 2023. And it looks like whoever gets the rights is gonna fork over a lot of money. ESPN's current deal with Formula 1 shows that they pay $5 million a year. However, Liberty Media is now asking for 15 times as much, to $75 million a year, and it may even get to as high as $100 million a year. Now, whether or not the price is way too high is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is this: F1 is growing, it is the hottest sport in America right now, and there's a lot of media companies that want in on its success. So, who is going to take over the media rights for 2023? It seems as though 4 media companies are holding talks: 2 networks and 2 streaming services, NBC Universal and ESPN, and Netflix and Amazon. Let's first off with ESPN, which many report that it is in pole position to renew its rights. ESPN has submitted a $70 million bid to retain its rights for 2023 onwards, and a lot of fans in America wouldn't mind if F1 stayed with them. Unlike the previous media companies of F1 broadcast, ESPN airs their races through a feed on Sky Sports commercial-free, and the company has held positive talks with F1 about renewing the rights, saying also that they are preparing to level up its coverage on the sport should it retain the rights, including keeping commercial-free coverage, or at the very least having split-screen coverage if the new fee forced it. It would also include sending out a person around the world covering F1 races and having a segment on SportsCenter to help promote the sport. Next up is NBC, which also would make sense for F1 to return to. NBC does have a recent history covering the sport from 2013 to 2017. Not only that, but NBC is now the home of motorsports in America, as they have the rights to 6 major racing events: NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, Supercross, MotoGP, and Superbike. So it would make sense to include F1 on a network that is home of motorsports, compared to ESPN, which only has F1 as their only form of auto racing programming. The only issue would be the USA Network. Remember, with NBCSN shutting down, the majority of sports programming either went to the USA Network or Peacock, NBC's streaming service. Now, even though the USA Network is available in a lot of homes in America, not many people familiarize the USA Network with sports. If anything, they know it for 2 things: Monday Night Raw and very cringy reality TV shows. Moving to a network like USA that's not that familiar in the sports world, and really outside of those 2 things I just mentioned, compared to, let's say, ESPN, which is a network that is literally known for sports, could lower the potential eyeballs that F1 has every race. But NBC does have one thing up its sleeve: Sky Sports. Remember, ESPN pays Sky Sports a certain amount of money so that they can use their feed for their broadcasts. Well, guess who owns Sky Sports? Comcast, which owns NBC. We can already see connections if you look at NBC's Premier League coverage, which uses Sky Sports' graphics and presentation. And with, again, F1 being an extremely hot ticket in America, and with a lot of media companies want to cash in on its success, NBC could potentially use Sky Sports as a way to maybe sway F1 into their direction for the next TV rights, considering Sky has the closest and strongest connection with F1 in terms of media companies. Now let's talk about the 2 streaming companies of Netflix and Amazon Prime. Netflix is in an odd situation considering the fact that it's a streaming platform that does not have any live programming, much less sports programming outside of documentaries. Now, we know that Netflix played a huge and critical role in F1's growth in America with their Drive to Survive series. Now, even though Netflix does have that good relationship with F1 and its Drive to Survive program, Netflix financially as of late hasn't been doing that well. They lost another 2 million subscribers in the second quarter of 2022, and they have been losing money due to a number of factors, including raising the prices from $9.99 to sometimes even $15 and maybe even $19.99 a month, to offering a plan that involves ads being part of their programming, and to cutting countless shows for no reason and instead promoting more garbage programming across their streaming platform. Now, Amazon, on the other hand, is an interesting scenario. It's considered an outsider from many people that are in the industry of F1, but Amazon does have some sports programming to their lineup, with the introduction of Thursday Night Football and the NFL playoffs beginning this year. However, the biggest issue with going to a streaming service for your next TV rights deal nowadays is that still, even though streaming is gaining and cable channels is still dropping year by year, cable is still more popular than streaming services, at least in America. Yes, one day it will overtake that, but now's not that time. So if you're going to move F1 from a cable channel or even a network channel and move it to exclusively a streaming network, you're automatically going to lessen the amount of eyeballs that are going to be watching your sport. Now, unlike stick and ball sports like football, basketball, or baseball, where really money drives everything, in motorsports, viewership is what drives the numbers, and it's what keeps the sport alive because of sponsorships. Sponsorships are the life and blood of motorsports. Companies pay top dollar to have their logos on their cars, fire suits, tracks, wherever, so that they can push out whatever they're selling to as many eyeballs as possible. Going to Amazon or Netflix would instantly lower the amount of eyeballs that are able to watch a race, comparing to airing a race on a local network like ABC or NBC. The only way I could potentially see F1 going to Netflix or Amazon is if those two companies pay a ridiculous amount of money for F1. And I'm talking about maybe even more than $100 million. But in conclusion, more than likely, I think it's going to come down between NBC and ESPN. And whoever is going to get the rights is going to be the one who pays more. At the end of the day, we know F1, money talks. And they can take two different routes. They could go the more comfortable route and stick with ESPN and ABC. They've been with them since 2018. Clearly, what they've been doing is working, as ratings and attendance and everything is just exploding in America. Or if NBC pays more than ESPN and they get the rights, F1 could try and switch it up and go with them. They are a returning broadcasting partner. They've been with them before, so it's not going to be a completely new network, but it's going to be something new. And NBC could try and find different ways to help spice up the F1 content, maybe do their own commentary, do their own type of programming, and maybe include more F1 shows into their lineup, maybe through their Peacock subscription service. And with NBC being the home of motorsports, we could see a lot of cross promotion between IndyCar, NASCAR, or any other forms of motorsports programmings, like also IMSA, including them into their F1 lineup. And like I said, if NBC is willing to pay more than ESPN, we could see a new home for F1 in 2023. But that's it for this video. Tell me what are your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who do you think will be the new home of F1 in America? Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time.